I'm Daphne Goode, and welcome to our program where a lot of people in the Cowichan Valley are making a difference. This is the annual Daffodil Lunch. Welcome to Go Island, Cowichan Valley. On today's show, a fascinating renewable energy conference coming to Ganges. How the Canadian Cancer Society is providing services to those in the Cowichan Valley. And what's new this year for tax filing season. All that and more on Go Island, Cowichan Valley.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
Volunteers served over 300 lunches for donors, volunteers and business people at the annual Daffodil Luncheon in the Cowichan Valley, which signals the beginning of the April campaign to fight cancer. They sell out every year at this community event, showing enormous support for those suffering from cancer.
And honored to be here. A huge thank you to all the volunteers that went into making this event a possibility. Can we give them a round of applause, please?
I think all the residents of Cowichan Valley benefit, Daphne. Anybody who's fighting cancer, their family members, their friends, their loved ones, they all benefit from the programs of the Canadian Cancer Society. We fund programs, as you know, but we also fund prevention initiatives. We fund research. We're funding the best research available right now, and that benefits everybody. That ultimately touches anybody's life who's dealing with cancer.
So in terms of support, I know a lot of people have been picked up and driven to Victoria for all kinds of tests and treatments. That's probably one of the fundamental, really great aspects of the volunteers, I suppose.
It is. It's an amazing service, and it's something we take for granted when we're healthy, right? We drive ourselves from A to B without thinking about it. But when you're fighting cancer, getting down to Victoria for treatment or up island for treatment can be a daunting task. And the volunteer driver program is pretty amazing. Yeah. It's completely funded by donor dollars. And we have an amazing team of volunteers that provide those rides. It makes a big difference.
I know that Cancer Month is April. It's a big target time, but of course you and others are working all year round. What are some of the key messages you want to bring out about April and why it's so important that people give now?
It's a great question. April's a great month to fight back, and making a donation to the society and wearing the daffodil is a way to tell people and to show people that are fighting cancer that we have their back, we're by their side, we're in the fight with them. And the donation goes a long way towards the programs that we talked about, towards the research that we really need to fund. And it's a great month to just get out there and support the society and all your loved ones and family members that have had this battle, have survived cancer. It's a great symbol. It's also a month to volunteer, and we're always asking and needing of more volunteers. So it's a great time to give some time to the society to make a difference.
And the big question for so many people who've been touched by cancer or have a friend or family member who have is, how are we getting any closer to solving the problem and the issues around cancer?
Well, we're in a war, and the wars are typically won one battle at a time, and there's some daunting numbers out there. Last year in Canada alone, there were 178,000 new diagnoses of cancer. That's a big number, but there's some big numbers on the positive side of the ledger as well. And if you look at in the 1940s, diagnosis in cancer led to a 25% survival rate, 25% only. Today that's over 60, and for children it's over 80%. That's a big difference. That's a positive and encouraging number. Research saves lives, prevention saves lives, and this is a symbol of all of that.
We'll take a quick break right now, but when we come back, we'll be telling you more about a renewable energy conference coming to Ganges, which will look at the implementation of harvesting and administering energy right after the break. Thanks for that story, James. And tickets are now available for that renewable energy conference coming to Ganges, either in advance or at the door. They're only $10. It's income tax season, so we're happy to spend a little time in downtown Duncan, getting some tax advice from our Go Island tax expert in the Cowichan Valley. Well, I'm really happy today to welcome one of the new sponsors to Go Island, Cowichan Valley, and that is Corinne Pratts from Pratts Bookkeeping Tax. And it is that time of year, so we are lucky we got a little tiny piece of your time, Corinne. How's it going for you so far this tax season?
Absolutely fantastic. We're very, very busy, but we're loving every minute of it.
Perfect. Well, we want to give people some information. You've been doing this work for a long time. You're definitely a professional. Some information at this time of year, some updates, some tax tips. So let's start with charitable donations. It's a great way to gain a bit as a consumer, and there's some changes.
That's right. It is an excellent way to increase your refund. When you do make a charitable donation, you do get some of that money back. This year, they've brought in the first-time donors super credit, is what it's being called. And what that means is that up to $200 of a donation, you will receive an extra 25% non-refundable tax credit.
Perfect. That's always great to add to a refund. And what about the family caregiver amount, which has changed slightly, I understand?
That has changed a little bit. It's gone up to $2,040.
Okay, and there's also something related to families, which is to do with adoption expenses.
Exactly. Yes, this year they've let us know that adoption expenses will still be allowed in 2013 and for later years. The eligibility for mineral exploration tax credit has been extended to flow through share agreements entered before April 1st, 2014.
Okay, and this is all information that people will be able to find. We're going to tell them later how they can do that.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about one of my favorites, the TFSA, which I think is a pretty painless way to save dollars. There's some changes this year?
That's right. As of January, the amount we're allowed to contribute to our tax-free savings account has gone up to $5,500.
Okay. Now let's talk about what I said. People can get more information themselves online because unfortunately in some areas there are no more counter services at the Revenue Canada offices. So just about anything can be searched online, and they've, I know, tried to make it easy for people, correct?
Yes, they have. Yeah, they've really done a lot of work on their website, trying to make it easy to navigate through and find the information that you need.
Okay. And one of the areas that you get involved in is a little more in-depth in assisting people with mediation and the CRA. How does that work?
Well, a lot of people feel very intimidated by Canada Revenue Agency, and they can feel very uncomfortable with having to deal with the people there. And so they will come to us, and we will mediate for them. Say you have a situation where you're owing some money, or you've got some problems with your returns, or you can't find your information slips. Really, it's quite common for people to have us make those phone calls for them, even to the point of negotiating budget and setting up a payment plan for those who owe money.
Now, some people are going to say, that sounds great. Many people don't know you can set up a payment plan.
Oh, absolutely, you can set up a payment plan. Canada Revenue likes to have their money in as quick as possible, of course, just like anybody else, but they're more than willing to work within your budget and to get things set up so that they're manageable. You just need to communicate with them, and that's where we come in.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, have you always been a numbers person?
Yes, yes, I have. As a young girl, it was my thing to go play Office, and so now I'm all grown up and I get to play Office every day.
That's perfect. You're realizing your dreams. And what sort of services do you offer through your office in Duncan?
Well, we offer complete full-service bookkeeping for businesses small to medium. We also do tax services for individuals as well as companies.
All right, and tell me what you would advise people in terms of, let's say there's about a month left now to file those taxes. You know, sometimes people just forget the simple things, the slips and the receipts, right?
That's right.
Any other advice?
Well, remember those charitable donations. Other things to consider are RRSPs that you have contributed to through the year, because they are directly taken off of your income and very valuable. The T3s and T5s from investments, as well as, of course, as your T4 that you get from employment.
Great. Well, really good to visit with you, Corrine, and especially nice to have your time at this time of year. So wishing you the best with the season, and we really want to thank you as well for your sponsorship of Good News on Go Island. It's going really well, and you're bringing us some good news today, so it's perfect.
Thanks so much, Daphne. I appreciate it.
We'll take a little break right now, but when we come back, we'll have some more scenes from the annual Daffodil Lunch here in Duncan.